everyone, I am Neeru Narang, Assistant Professor, PG Department Computer Science, Arya College, Ludhiana. Today I am explaining multithreading. Multithreading is an important concept in Java. It is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously. A thread is a lightweight subprocess, the smallest unit of a processing. Multiprocessing and multithreading both are used to achieve multitasking. We use multithreading than multiprocessing because threads use shared memory area. They don't allocate separate memory area to save memory and context switching between the threads and take less time than process. Multithreading mostly used in games and animations. A thread is a lightweight subprocess, the smallest unit of processing. It is a separate path of execution. Threads are creating by using two methods, by extending thread class or by implementing renable interface. We can create a thread class by extending a thread inbuilt class which is reside in java.lang package. It is a class which is predefined and we can use this class by extending this class in a current class. Each thread has a priority which is used by thread scheduler to determine which thread must first. Java provides thread class that has a various method calls in order to manage the behavior of thread by providing constructor and method to perform operation on thread. In this example, we are creating a multi-class and extend thread inbuilt class and override the run function which is defined in a thread class. After that, we creating a object of multi-class and call the start method. In this example, we are taking ABC class and ABC class extends the thread class and overrides the run method. In this method, we are taking I loop and next class XYZ also extend the thread class and override the run method, and in this method we are taking a K loop. After creating XYZ class, we are taking main class. In main class we are creating the object of both classes and use the start method. Method is to create a thread is implementing a runnable interface. The runnable interface is used to write applications which can run in a separate thread. Any class that implements the runnable interface is called a thread. The code of the thread is executed by the interpreter after the thread is started. Advantage of multithreading. Multithreading is used to improve performance. By allowing multiple threads execute simultaneously, CPU idle time is reduced and leading to improve the performance, especially on a multi-core and multiprocessor system. It increases the responsiveness in an interactive application. For example, in a user interface, one thread can manage user input while another handles graphical updates. It is also used in resource sharing. Threads of a same process share memory and resource, enabling efficient inter-thread communication compared to the processes which is required more complex and slower inter-process communication mechanism. It synchronizes the issues. Life cycle of a thread is another important concept in a multi-threading. When a thread enters in the running stage, they can be start and we can stop or kill the method by using stop method and start the thread by using a start method, and when we use suspend, sleep and wait method, it move to the block stage, and when we use stop method again, it will move to the death stage. Whenever a new thread is created, it is always in a new stage. For a thread in new state, the code has not been yet and thus has begun its execution. Active thread. When a thread invokes the start method, it moves from new state to the active state. The active state contains two states within it. One is runnable state and second is runnable interstate. Runnable stage, when we call the start method function using a thread object, it is moved to a runnable stage. In the runnable stage, the thread may be running or may be ready to run at any given instant of a time. It is duty of a thread scheduler to provide a thread time to run. For example, moving the thread to the running stage. The running stage. When the thread gets the CPU, it moves from runnable to the running stage. Generally, the most common change in state of a thread is from runnable to running and again back to runnable. The another stage is the blocking stage. In a blocking stage, thread is inactive for a span of a time. Then either the thread is blocked stage or is in a waiting stage. For example, thread A may wants to print some data from the printer. At the same time, the B is using the printer to print some data. Thread A has to wait for the thread B to use the printer. Thread A is in block stage and thread A is block stage is unable to perform any execution and thus never consume any cycle of the CPU. Hence, we can say that thread A remains idle until the thread scheduler reactive thread A, which is in a waiting stage of a block stage. The next stage is a time waiting stage. Time waiting stage is waiting for leads to the starvation. For example, a thread A has entered the critical section of a code, not willing to leave the critical section. In other scenario, another thread has to wait forever, which leads to the starvation. To avoid such scenario, a time waiting stage is given to the thread B. Thread B lies in the waiting stage for a specific span of a time, not forever. The real example is waiting is when we use sleep method. Sleep method puts the thread in a time wait stage. After times run out, the threads wake up and start its execution. The last stage is terminated stage. A thread reaches the termination stage because of following reason. When a thread has finished its job, then it exits the terminate normally. Another cause is when some unusual event such as a unhandled execution or segmentation fault. The thread is also terminated. Other methods are used in multi-threading is start method are used to create a new thread. Run method is used to perform an action for a thread. Yield method is used for concurrently executing thread objects to temporarily pause and allow the thread to execute. Suspend method is used to suspended the thread. Resume is used to call the suspended thread. And sleep method is used to sleep the thread for a specific time. Stop method is used to stop the thread. Wait thread is used to inactive for some time. Notify is used to stop the thread for a time, and resume method is used to active the thread again. We can set the priority by using a numbers or a method. Numbers are represented by priority 1 to 10 and the method is minimum priority, maximum priority and normal priority. Priority the default priority is set to 5 as executed, minimum priority is set to 1 and maximum priority is set to 10. In this program we take a class multi-priority and extends the thread class and override the run method. After using the main method, we are creating two objects of that class M1 and M2. Minimum priority are set with M1 object and maximum priority are set with M2 object, and after setting the priority we use the start method. Thank you.